Welcome to episode 2 of the Journeyman then, guys, and today I've got a little bit of a change of how we're going to do things. We are going to be trying to fit in an entire season, or the rest of this season, in one video. I really like how this is done. I put a poll up on my YouTube page saying how you guys want to see this, and majority did vote to see sort of a season per video. I'm a big fan of when this does happen, because otherwise you end up seeing sort of 20 to 30 episodes to complete a season, as we did with my Atletico Madrid series. So I hope you guys do like this. Please do comment below, though, if you're not a big fan of it, and we could definitely, evaluate things and talk about it. But that's enough talking. Before we do get into the video, guys, please do leave a like on the video. Be sure to comment below as well, and do subscribe to the channel. It helps the channel grow. You are absolutely smashing it right now. But let's get in to the Sevilla B save, and hopefully try and get a little bit up the table. So we're going to kick things off, which unfortunately did end up in a 1-0 loss in a game which I couldn't say we did deserve to win. Barcelona B, although we did have a few shots on target, as you can see here, they did dominate the stats, so it was deserved from their end. It's just, we are struggling against sort of the top teams in this division, and I know they are B sides, but Barcelona B, Real Madrid B, even Villarreal B have got very, very decent sides, and you look at their squad depth, and they've got a lot more players than what we have. So unfortunately, we do start this, this video off with a loss against Barcelona. That's what we don't need as well. We unfortunately do have Pablo Perez out with a twisted ankle for 3 to 4 weeks. Now, for you guys that don't play with smaller sides, the reason why this is so impactful to me personally, and to anyone else that does do smaller team saves, is because we have got hardly any players at the club. So when a player's out for this long, it puts so much strain onto the rest of the players, and then that is likely to cause more injuries and a sort of a knock-on effect, as you guys can imagine, if you're forced to play the same players over and over again. But it's done now. Let's get into the next match, which is against Cornelia. So we then played Cornelia away from home, which did end up being a 1-0 win, which was a result we did need. Obviously, we're not expected to get automatics, but that is one hell of a volley, by the way, from Sebastian. What a goal that is. But we do want to try and get inside the top 10, definitely avoid relegation. Obviously, we did take over at quite a tough time, but it's no excuses. That is why we took the job. And it was a game which, I'm not going to say we deserved to win, because realistically we didn't. It was quite an even game. They have more XG, but the shots on target and that were quite similar, sorry. Possession bang on similar as well. So, I mean, it could have went either way, and luckily, on the day, we did manage to win. On top of this, we also did manage to win 2-0 against Costa Brava at home. So, again, 2 huge results coming in there. We then ended up having a a sort of middle of the season friendly against a team called El Hajdo, I think that's how you say that, in what was actually quite an interesting game. So it's why I included the highlights. We do end up going 1-0 down there. Very poor defending, and this was like it's going to be 2. So we actually do find ourselves 2-0 down. Now, although this is a friendly, one thing I will say is, it is good that we are seeing signs of this, where we are going goals behind. That's not the good bit, but the fact that we are coming back. A beautiful ball over there to Romero, who tucks it in to the bottom left corner, and what a goal that is. But, although it's a friendly and they're not the best team, it's good to see. Cruz here with the ball, puts a wonderful ball in, and Musa out-jumps Fernandez, and luckily equalises to make it 2-2. We didn't have Musa on the ball again. Ball to Alcedo, ball into Romero, and just like that, we're back into the lead. Romero to Zorana. Sorry, I said that wrong. Johansson, Orts, what a ball that is into Romero. And honestly, although this is a friendly, I know they're not the best team, it is good to see the lads putting on a bit of a display, considering it is just a friendly. But overall, we did deserve to win that game. We absolutely dominated the stats. 24 shots, 7 on target, 2.7 XG on the cards as well. And to be fair, they did have a couple of shots, as obviously they did score. Every shot on target they did score. But at the end of the day, it was a game which we did deserve to win. So although it was a friendly, I'm glad we did put on a display for the fans. We then went over and played Villarreal B, a team which are actually one of the best in the division, in what was a 2-0 win for us. A beautiful bit of play down the right-hand side here. Romero flicks it on to the other Romero, and luckily, I thought it was offside, but it wasn't. The goal was given, and that wasn't where it ended. We had Salas there with a ball over the top into Cruz, one hell of a player here, who tucks it in the near post. Goalkeeper possibly could have done better there, but it was a game which we definitely deserved to win. We absolutely thumped them in terms of stats, and to be honest, this was a game I wanted to get out of the way, because I hate playing with Villarreal main team, so I knew the B team would be quite good as well. They're having a reasonably good season as well, so luckily we did get 3 points. We then did follow that on also with a 3-0 win against San Fernando. So that is honestly putting us on a bit of a winning spree now. Well, if there's one thing I promise you on this channel, guys, it's going to be drama. And here we go. A 4-4 game against Sabadell away. And the amount of goals, you can just tell there's going to be some lackluster defending. They go 1-0 up then. Looks like they're going to go 2 here with a set piece. That Caxe guy does look actually quite good, to be fair to him. A chance here, though, for Talavon. Plays it into Romero. Is he going to square it? He is. Into Cruz, who hits it sort of on the half volley there. A beautiful goal to make it 2-1 to them. A set piece in. Goalkeeper punches it into the danger area. Back into Cruz. Back into Romero, who ties it up 2-2. And this game, I will say, is back and forth the whole time. And do you know what? To be honest, it's sort of like, it is a bit gutting we didn't get a result, but it's clear a day that obviously both teams come here to try and get something. And, you know, when both teams are scoring 4 or that amount of goals, a draw is something you have to take at the end of the day. It's a beautiful ball over there into Caxe again, who does get his hat-trick. We then get a penalty, which we do end up managing to score in the bottom right. And then we do actually end up taking the lead here from a set piece. Very weird one. It's actually going to be Salas who flicks it on into Aspar, who does put us 4-3 up in the 86th minute. But could we hold on? We couldn't. In the 90th minute, getting on for the 91st now. Beautiful bit of play, and the link-up goalkeeper has to do better. He has to do better. It's absolutely abysmal goalkeeping. Absolutely abysmal goalkeeping. And that is, to be honest, seeing that again, we could have easily won that game. Yeah, we conceded a lot of goals, and you do have to be a bit more, you know, resilient at the back. But at the end of the day, that does come down to a very poor goalkeeping error in the last minutes of the game, which did cost us. We then also, unfortunately, do go on to lose against Linares in a 1-0 loss, making us in December and January with 5 wins, 2 draws, and 1 loss. So, I mean, overall, it's not horrific. Obviously, the 1 loss is a bit annoying, but 5 wins and 2 draws, I will take, to be honest. It's not too bad. And bouncing on from that, we did go ahead and play San Corleno, I think that's how you say that, in what was a 1-0 win. And on top of this as well, one thing I'm very happy with, the board are absolutely buzzing with us, giving us an A+ in the match ratings, which I'm super happy with. And obviously, I didn't think we were going to be able to turn this around as good as we have done. I know we picked up a couple of draws and a loss, but to be honest, it's not been too bad. But unfortunately, after a 1-0 loss against Castellon and a 1-1 draw against Tarragona, I thought it was the perfect time to talk through the table, sort of just over midway through. 24 games played, we are currently sat in 9th place, so we're not doing too bad considering the options we have and what it was like when we first come in, results-wise. But as you can see, the usual suspects up top of the table. You got Barcelona B, you got Real Madrid B, Villarreal B. You know, we have got a bit of chasing to do if we do want to sort of clench it and go up the table, but it's not going to be easy. One thing I will say, which, you know, I'm very glad that we've had the chance to do is, as I put on screen here, we have managed to actually get the National B coaching license, which is quite good, because obviously when we first started this series, we started off as sort of like the lowest sort of coaching you can be, which I believe is a C. I believe it's a C. So we've already been allowed to do one of our coaching courses, which is very good. Obviously, I think the club has to sort of pay for that and everything like that. So I thought it was a good time to ask for it, considering we were doing quite well in the season. I know we've had a couple of dodgy results here and there, but overall, it's not been too bad. Now, before this game, guys, we did play Belarus in what was a 1-0 loss. And also, we lost 3-2 against Mauritia. I think that's how you say that. Luckily, we did manage to bounce back in this game against Real Hispalis B side in what was a 2-1 win. They do go 1-0 up here by the looks of things, though, with a beautiful bit of play into Fakir. Not the actual Fakir, but that is a beautiful goal from him. But again, a bit of resilience shown here. We managed to get back into the game. Pablo Perez on this side here into Aspar, who hits it, and it's an absolute wonder strike. It really is a wonder strike. Another ball gets floated in here, and Sebastian again with a goal. And to be honest, it was a game which we did deserve to win. We dominated the stats, every aspect of things we did dominate. So very happy that we did come away with that win. And like I said, it could have gone, I say it could have gone either way. They could have actually walked away with that if we weren't able to get back into the game. But one thing I'm noticing about this side is we have got the resilience to get back into games. And on top of this, a big result coming in against Alcariras as well. I hope I said that right. We did manage to beat them 1-0 as well. So we have sort of recovered them 2 losses now with 2 wins, which is crucial at this point in the season. Before we do carry on with this video, guys, if you are enjoying this sort of, you know, how this is planning out, you know, all of the season being into one video, please do leave this video a like below and comment what team you'd like me to manage in the future. And please do subscribe to the channel and check out the social medias in the description. But let's get in to the next match highlight. So, this is where the season This is where the season took a little bit of a downturn. Now, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, guys. We lose 4-1 to Albacete. We're going to watch the highlights to see exactly what went wrong. But we did also end up playing a few games at the end of this. I think it is just great play. It's great play down the right. Marquez with the ball. We're going to slow these down a little bit, actually. Ball gets floated into Jordi Sanchez. The defending's lackluster. I'm going to be honest. The defending is absolutely abysmal. Every time they get an attack, they seem like they're going to score. Reckless ball in, no marking, easy goals. They go 3-0 up. That's the worst thing about it. We do claw one back here with Romero. Ball over the top into Johansson, who tucks it in. That's actually quite a good finish. But could we get back into the game? No, of course we couldn't. Riki with the ball here into Galvez, into Fran Alvarez, Ruben Martinez, into Jason. And honestly, the defence is looking abysmal. And I mean, it's a game which I can't even argue. The stats actually flattered us a little bit, to be honest, because from that, it doesn't look like we got dominated too badly. But trust me, we did. It was not a pretty sight. And following on from this, we actually drew 0-0 against Real Madrid, which wasn't too bad. We then had a win, a 2-0 win against Lyonnais, which sort of bounced us back. But this is when it took a real bad turn, with a 2-1 loss against FC Andorra, a 1-0 loss against Alianco, a 1-0 loss against Barcelona B-side, and a 0-0 draw against Costa Brava, making that the last 4 games 3 losses and 1 draw, which is honestly absolutely abysmal. And we are now in danger of going down. That's how bad it's got. We were in danger of going down. A side which was flying. We were going up the table. What in this division, the points are so close, right? So you have to get every point you can. And we have been really just bad recently. Really bad recently. So we've got to push on now and survive. It's all about survival now. So I had my thinking cap on. I knew I needed to win, and that is what I done. In a 2-0 win against San Fernando. They did go down to 10 man as well. A ball here. What a header that is into Quintana. It's actually Sebastian does get the flick on there, actually. So I do apologise about that. A beautiful bit of play here again into Luis. Pablo Perez, ball through to Quintana. And again, that is going to be the 2-0 win. And this game was massive because I believe this was a game which we did need to win to actually guarantee staying up, which we did manage to do. But we also played Cornelia, again, which we did manage to win 1-0. And unfortunately, we did finish the season with a 1-0 loss against Villarreal B-side. So then, that is going to be the end of the season. And this is what the table looked like. So, we didn't get inside the 10th place, which I was trying to hope, you know, possibly 7th or 8th. But we did manage to finish 10th place in the season. But we did take over sort of 12 games in. And they were on an awful run. Now, for my first season of management, with no coaching courses available to me until sort of, you know, 27 games in, I will take that. This has been one hell of a challenge, though, guys, I will say, because obviously you can't sign any players. We didn't have much squad depth at all. We got hit with several injuries. It was not easy at all. We had some tough games, some games which were painful to watch. Never an easy task, to be honest with you. So overall, I am reasonably happy with this. Obviously, I do feel like we could have done slightly better. But I'm not going to sit here and pick apart everything because I come into a team that obviously was very low on morale. Doesn't have obviously the best of best players considering the division we're in, and just needs a little bit of, you know, just a little bit of a turnaround. And although we couldn't push into them playoff spots, which would have been very ambitious to do, at least we stayed up by quite a few places. As you can see, though, it does get very tight. It's not a lot in this at all, if we're being honest, in terms of points. You're sort of talking, you know, you got like 49 for us and it's 47, 46. So, I mean, you could easily find yourself falling down the table. But let's have a little look at some of the squad stats for this season. So then, squad stats. Now, I'm not here to pluck anyone. I'm not here to, you know, pluck people apart, disrespect the players. That's not who I am as a manager. But no one really had a great season, to be honest with you. As you can see, the squad depth is bare bones. Bare bones. But we had 4 goals and 3 assists coming out of Quintana, a player which you get quite familiar with, to be fair. Pablo Perez contributing with 5 assists, 3 assists and 6 goals, sorry, for Romero. Johansson coming in with 2 assists and also 4 goals. 2 assists coming in for Xavi Sintes. 4 goals coming in for Sant Sebastian. I do apologise about that. 6 assists and 6 goals. So the most out of any player in both aspects coming in from Romero, who, to be honest, was our best player. Not by match rating, but actually going forward, 100% our best player. 4 assists, sorry, and 2 goals coming in for Ortiz, who again is a player I said in my previous episode. He looks one hell of a player. Don't know who he is, but he looks genuinely incredible. And moves to here with a 5.9, not contributing to absolutely anything, only the 1 appearance. So to be fair, he probably dropped a bit of a stinker. Now there's a bit of rumors going about. There's a bit of rumors. Let me just show you what these rumors are about. So it's no secret between me and you that I probably wasn't looking to stay at Sevilla B for too long. The whole point of a journeyman is to move along, possibly stay there for a whole season, if not 2. But this first job was purely about sort of, you know, getting the experience, getting a job so that you can progress and sort of move on to other clubs. Now, I applied for a few jobs. Some were successful, some were not. Swansea were a club that come to me and offered a position right off the bat. Now, I'm stuck in 2 minds here because there is a massive part of me that genuinely wants to stick with Sevilla just for another season. But then there's also a part of me that likes the idea of managing Swansea because they're not at the top flight of football by any means. And obviously, I'm a bit more familiar with their players. And, you know, I know the club. I know the history. I'm a big fan of like what they're after isn't too dramatic. They want me in the Championship. They want me to finish in the top half. So it is a big step up. We're going into the 2nd tier of English football, which again is arguably one of the hardest you can actually play because of some, you know, the amount of work rate, amount of desire to get into that Premier League is second to none. But I've made my decision, and the decision is that is going to be it for today, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you have, please do leave a like on the video. Be sure to drop a comment below as well of what you think I chose. And please do subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. But that is going to be it for me today, guys. And I'll see you in the next one.